And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the third series of the night. Welcome back to the quarterfinals of the Code for Giants Cup number 15. Welcome to a ZvZ. Oh my god. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Site Delta, we have the Brazilian Zerg player, the blue Zerg representing Ximius Gaming. It is mTT. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent going for a, oh my god, going for a 13-12. Going for a 13-12. We have the red Zerg player representing the Platinum Heroes. It is Tatagiba. Oh boy, here we go. If you're in the chat, predictions open, place your bets while you can, as I'm sure this is going to be a very short, very fast series as we enter this ZvZ. mTT is going for a 15-15. 15 hatchery into a 15 spawning pool. A very safe build. Very safe build here from mTT because he's going for a faster pool. This should lead into faster lings and faster queens. Meanwhile, 13-12 from Tatagiba. Now, Tatagiba has a reputation. He is known for cheesing. He is known for all-inning. He is known for just not playing macro. He does not play macro. He is hyper cheesy, hyper aggressive, and mTT looks like he is aware of that. And I do like this opener for the blue Zerg player, but it will still come down to the control. Still come down to control. Again, this is a 13-12. What does this mean? This means link speed and banelings. Link speed and banelings going to be available here for Tatagiba. He's going for a massive link flood. He's going essentially for an all-in. It is essentially an all-in, and it's going to be on mTT to survive and to defend. And he's going to need those queens ASAP. He's going to need those lings ASAP as well. Lings move out. mTT does not confirm. His Overlord is not quite in position as the Lings. They do skirt around the edge. They do intentionally avoid the Overlord. Oh, but they barely do actually get past it. The Overlord does confirm. Spinecrawler's on the way. Spinecrawler is on the way for mTT. And again, mTT, he can't afford to lose the natural. Doesn't have to save it. He can't afford to lose it, but he needs Lings. And he is not making them. He does need Link production. There we go. Lings are now on the way. This Link production was actually delayed here, though. So a bit of a slip up by mTT. Waiting for that Spinecrawler to finish. Banelings are morphing in. Yeah, the Banelings have arrived. And it's going to be all about unit control here. Oh, mTT is going to try to save the natural. Massive Baneling connection. Already a brutal start for the blue Zerg. Another Baneling goes off. Lings, as long as they deny the Spinecrawler. Actually, they just go for the Queen. They go for the Queen instead. Oh, good control though. Queen does pull away, second Queen arrives, Spinecrawler has made it as well, and so far, so good. mTT, he is holding, but he has to be very careful with his army positioning. The Queens are on the ramp. Spinecrawler within range to save the expansion. Lings are amassing. These Banelings still have potential though. These Banelings can't pop off. mTT going for his own Baneling nest to defend. Baneling nest here is on the way. Banelings, they do go for the Spinecrawler. Spinecrawler goes down. Another Baneling about to finish. Oh no! Oh! Massive connection! Oh, a brutal connection here on the Lings. Once again, mTT, he does fly too close to the sun. He does get burned for it. And it looks like Tatagiba, he should have enough. He takes down both Queens. And initially, it was a good defense, but the control was lacking for mTT. That's going to be a kill on the army and on the natural. I said before that you can afford to lose the natural base, but not if you die or not if you lose your entire army in doing so. I'm referring to Lings, the Spinecrawler, and the Queens. So Tatagiba, he has done well for himself. He's expanding back at home. mTT does have a greater economy behind this, but the Baneling nest is not going to finish. So the Banelings are not finishing, I should say. Oh no! Not again! Once again, it takes another Baneling to the face. Once again, the control is lacking. mTT holding his own. Baneling looks like this one should finish. Finally, mTT gets one Baneling out. Working towards link speed. Could do with an extra gas geyser. Sorry, with an extra queen, I meant to say. Oof. Baneling gets baited out. It's nice control here by Tatagiba. I mean, again, when it comes to Link Bane here early on, it's all about Link Bane control. It's all about the control here between the players. And mTT has been lacking it. Gonna try to dive on those Banelings. He gets one. Not bad. Not bad here by mTT. Trying to bait the army in. Good Baneling connection. Takes down, it looked like 3 Lings. Once again, mTT trying to bait out that Baneling, alas he won't be able to. Oh my god. Once again, playing with fire. Oof. Baneling goes off. Not the worst connection here. mTT is holding his own. Rushing past. Takes out another Baneling. Once again, Tatagiba miscontrolling. But mTT needs some defensive Banelings back at home. Going for the Roach Ward instead. Okay. Interesting. That means he can't save the space. Yeah, he's not going to be able to save it. The base is cancelled. And Tatagiba, he can't even go further from here. Half of the Banelings are finishing up. There he goes off. mTT is holding, but Tatagiba, he's on 2 bases. He hasn't droned, though. He's just now making workers. So he's lacking the economy. Banelings are on the low grounds. Oh, this hatchery, it's going to be killed. Yeah, it's going to be killed. Brutal pickoff. 300 minerals down the drain. Yeah, that is brutal. Likewise, both players being very, very careful, as possible. mTT pulls back. Roach production has begun. There is potential here with these roaches, but I don't see there being too many of them is the problem. Only 2. Then he goes off. More efficient trade towards the end there. But the scary thing here right now is that because of the second base, I mean, one, Tatagiba now has an economic lead. On top of that, better production. So Tatagiba, he's ahead in economy, he's ahead in production. Now going for his own Roach Warren with this kind of hatch-based setup. mTT can't really counterattack either. Can't really get much done. I'm going to try to, though. He's fanning out his units. I think he gets the hell out of here. Does pull away. With 3 roaches up. Oh my god. Is this going to be enough? We need Ling reinforcements. 10 Lings are in production. They're coming. Spine Crawler's on the way. Lings, they threaten a counterattack. mTT goes back home. He has to make up his mind. Oof, those are not good Baneling connections for the blue Zerg. He gets cleaned up. Yeah, massive pick off here. Tatagiba, he's getting further ahead. He's got better saturation. He has map control. Shuts down all the roaches. And mTT is struggling here to recover. Baneling moves out. Oof. Was our A move? Not on move command. Another Baneling gonna get baited. There's 3 Banelings left here for mTT. Meanwhile, we're going in towards the lair. Tatagiba on under 2 ace economy. Let's go. Lair is on the way. This can lead into a couple different directions. I don't really know where Tatagiba will go from here, but he can go into, like, I don't know, like a Spire with like extra gases and go into Mutatech. He can just go into 2 ace Roach, which will be more secure. We'll see. We'll see what Tatagiba does with that lair. Likewise, mTT getting into his own. Going for double gases. Gets a Baneling. It's something. Morphing in his own. Yep, all 4 gases. All 4 gases are being taken. No Roach Warren. This looks like 2 base muta. This screams 2 base muta from Tatagiba. And mTT is not quite stood up to defend against that. There's a Spire, as we did mention. Yeah, 2 base muta. That's the only thing you would go for here with 4 gases. And without a Roach Warren. Walk in, Papi. You can do it. There's so much potential. No. Banelings, they back off. To back off. Spire is almost done. It's halfway done at this point. It's getting there. mTT just focusing on Roach production. Finish his own lair. Last Ling gets spotted. Okay, there is still potential here with these banelings to gain value at least, but not like this. He's going for his own Spire, but it's so heavily delayed in comparison to his opponents. So mTT is just one step behind, unfortunately. He is one step behind. Mutas are in production. It's going to be 6 Mutas from Tatagiba. Likewise, getting into +1 air attack as well to maintain an upgrade advantage here over his opponent. That's 4 Lings going down. That's an okay trade here. But now Tatagiba knows, and yeah, deals with the remaining Baneling. And here come those Mutas. Mutas are moving out. If this was scouted, and unfortunately there was no scout. There's no Overseer, but didn't go into the main. So mTT, this is on him. He could have scouted earlier, did not. Mutas have arrived. They collapse here on top of the Queen, on top of the Roaches, and they should clean everything up. Banelings are being targeted. And from here, mTT is all in. Is completely all in, and Tatagiba just he walls off. Just walls off here on 2 bases. Gets the final Baneling. Should deny the 3rd, and from here he can just contain. Now mTT is getting into Corruptor production. Corruptors in high enough numbers can actually contest against Mutas, but at this point, I mean, look at the Muta flock. 15 Mutas! That's crazy! That's a lot of Muta. Ling run by, runs into a brick wall, and will barely break through that Evo chamber, but not going to be worth it here in the end. Lings go down, 3rd base falls, Mutas, they bust into the main. There are Spore Crawlers in position. Handful of Corruptors as well, so mTT he will hold on 2 bases, but merely only hold. How the Mutas in the air with all those holes? Ay, ay, ay. It looks so frail and so fragile. It's just gonna topple over. Jesus. Regardless. Making the way in. Headed for the main. Lings towards the natural. Gas Geist is going down, going for the Spire as well. And Tatagiba, he should be able to snipe it. And he will. The Spire falls. From here, mTT is trying to go into Infestors. I mean, he's trying to work into Hydras as well. The problem is that mTT can't really afford this kind of army composition on 2 bases. That's the biggest problem. If mTT had a 3rd, I would have faith. I'd be like, okay, you know, he can throw down Spore Crawlers, he can get his 3rd base up and running, he can just defend, turtle, and then move out. But that's not what's happening here. The problem here is that Tatagiba has the economic lead, has more workers, has more bases. So outside of a massive misplay, Tatagiba should be perfectly fine. The one thing that we're really hoping for here is like a Hail Mary Fungal, right? There is an Infestor. If he can land a Fungal, and if the army gets caught over Spores and the Corruptor and Hydra as well, then maybe, but... no. The Infestor, no! Fungal does go off. The Infestor goes down. Ah! Not like this. Infestor falls, Lings overwhelm the Corruptors, they don't shoot down. And 1-1 just finished up for Tatagiba. He does overwhelm the natural. Ah. Not like this. Not like this, man. There's mTT. He's having a bit of copium here at this point. A lot of copium. He's got an OD on car. Oh no. Someone take it away from him. GG gets called, and Tatagiba will take game number 1. Whew. GG. A very, messy game one as well. What I will say is that even though there was a certain point where things were clearly in favor of Tatagiba, before that, it was quite back and forth. There were definitely good moments for mTT. Definitely there were some good moments, especially when it came to the initial 13-12 defense. It was not too bad whatsoever, but following that, that's where he did struggle quite a bit. That's where we saw the unit control of mTT fail him at some critical moments, at some critical times, which allowed his opponent to actually get ahead and take a lead. Initially, mTT was in a better position. He was in a better position. He had 2 bases, he had a higher worker count, and then things very quickly snowballed out of control. With that, GG. With that, GG, well played. Have Tatagiba taking a lead, and oh my god! What just happened? As I am in a little bit of shock here. Okay. I'm in shock. You know what? Let me just quickly pay attention to the bracket here. I think we need to bring attention to it. So I mentioned before that I mentioned before that Master is number 1 seed. Master and Eric, they're number 1 and number 2. They are the top 2 players of the tournament, and we expect Master and Eric to face off in the finals. And I did mention that Allison can pose a threat to Master, but I was expecting like an ace match. That's what I was expecting. That's a 2-0. Allison 2-0's Master, papi. Ay, that is a crazy result. For a 2-0 win here, that is insane. Very impressive stuff here by Allison. For those who don't know, that was a PvP. That was a Protoss vs. Protoss. I mean, we all know how chaotic PvPs can be. True, they can be very chaotic and very intense, and they can be just very cheesy at times as well. Definitely. So yeah, yeah, that is crazy. So very impressive. GG, well played. I'm very impressed by Allison. Very well done. Takes down Master, who is favored to have made it to the finals, and suddenly everything is up in the air. Suddenly Allison could be the next finalist. I mean, Tatagiba, I can see him threatening Allison as well. I could see that best of 3 being crazy, by the way, Allison and Tatagiba. Of course, mTT can also threaten that. But yeah, that's insane. That is insane. Scrolling down, we have, of course, Eric versus Claw that is currently ongoing. When it goes up against Kamikaze in the next round, we will get to those matches eventually. For now, we are focusing on the upper matches instead. Focusing on those upper matches. Until then, though, we can calm things down. And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. I do apologize for the delay, but again, we did have some disconnection issues. We had to wait for our players to arrive once again, and now we are jumping into game 2 of this best of 3 series. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Oceanborn, we have the Brazilian Zerg player, the blue Zerg representing the Planet Heroes. It is Tatagiba. And spawning in the bottom... Oh. Who is it? Who is it? No. Okay, we're good. Someone having some latency issues there. But spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the Brazilian Zerg player, the red Zerg. It looks like, yeah, they did experience a bit of latency there. We have the red Zerg player going for his own 13-12. Oh, actually a little bit different there. I believe 14-13. It is mTT. Here we go. Tatagiba, of course, he did flex his 13-12 previously, and oh my god, it was just going for aggressive builds all over the place. Early gases, early spawning pools here from both sides. Is a slightly earlier spawning pool here from Tatagiba. I did mention, of course, that mTT did go for a 14-13. So Tatagiba is a little bit more crisp, is a little bit more on point, a little bit faster. And we're about to clash here. Both players are going to be rushing into link speed, into banelings as well. I'm curious how this compares to each other. I don't think I've seen 13-12 or like gas first builds against each other before. So we'll see. Essentially like 13-12s against each other. Baneliness is prioritized here for Tatagiba. Baneliness on the way first. Meanwhile, mTT has the resources for it, but ooh, link speed first instead. Okay, I think I like this more for the blue Zerg, but we'll see. Basically, we're working in the same direction, but blue Zerg goes for Baneling Nest, red Zerg goes for link speed first. Into a delayed Baneling Nest. And we'll see what becomes more impactful. As Lings move out, Tatagiba getting in position, falling back. He does spot the Lings with the Overlord. mTT confirms as well. as they do threaten each other. Both armies trying to outposition the other. Lings being active. Banelings on the way. And again, the Baneliness here for mTT is quite delayed in comparison. Does have a queen to help support. But I'm concerned because we'll see if we can avoid that Baneling. See if we can avoid it. The Baneling, it has arrived. Baneling is here. Diving for the queen. There's that Baneling to support the Lings. They cannot save it. The queen goes down. Massive pickoff. mTT trying to expand. It should not finish. Oh my god. Baneling zoning away those Lings. Ling speed does kick in. Baneling goes down. Oh, no, god, no. Massive connection. We force a cancel on the natural. Massive connection on the Lings. There's nothing left. Only drones. Boys are being pulled. Lings are wreaking havoc. Spine crawlers on the way. But alas, mTT should be overwhelmed here. Ay. That was brutal. Banelings are waddling into the mineral line. And again, there's nothing to defend. There's a handful of Lings, but the Banelings, they're going for... Oh, they're going for the Lings. What do they go for? Lings or drones? They don't know. They're going for the workers. Big connections, and there's only 2 drones left. Only 2 workers left. GG gets called, and Tatagiba will take the series 2-0. GG. GG, well played. Tatagiba, he will take the series 2-0, will advance on to the semifinals. My condolences to mTT. Again, Tatagiba, he's known for being hyper-aggressive and very cheesy player. And again, mTT did do his best here to try to keep up with him. Unfortunately, was overwhelmed. Unfortunately, his build was also lackluster as well. I will say I will criticize a little bit there. It was like a 13-12 aggressive start, but he was still expanding and getting a queen, and it was a little bit messy there from the side of mTT. And with that, GG, well played. Tatagiba does take it, and it does advance on to the next round. Congratulations, and we have that next series ready for us. It is going to be Tatagiba versus Allison.